Let's look at another characteristics of receiver, that is called fidelity. It is the ability of receiver to reproduce all possible frequency components of transmitted message signal. You can see by this diagram. If you are transmitting a message signal that is capturing the channel bandwidth of 20 to 20 kilohertz, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and there are two receivers, RX1 and RX2. They are receiving the same signal. Now this guy RX1, the RX1 is capturing 20 Hz to 15 kHz, whereas RX2 is capturing 20 Hz to 20 kHz. So you can say frequency of RX1 is low and it is low quality, okay, low quality receiver. Similarly, frequency of RX2 is high, which means it is of high quality receiver, okay. So, and we want exact the frequency range should be captured in such a way that it should capture all the possible frequency components of message signal, okay. So this is what RX2 is doing. So that is how you can define fidelity. So ability of receiver to reproduce all the possible frequencies transmitted by message signal, okay. So that is how you can understand. Now to improve the fidelity of receiver, PE and DE mechanisms are used. PE means pre-emphasis and DE means de-emphasis signal. We will look into this now. Okay, before moving on to pre-emphasis PE and de-emphasis DE circuits, we will see what it is going to do. So if you have a power spectral density of a message signal like this, where in y-axis you have SF, in x-axis you have F. I have marked 2 points, F1. I marked 2 points, F1 and F here minus F1. Okay. So if you will look, the SNR is, if the SNR is high, we can neglect the effect of interference, okay. And if the SNR is low, large effect of interference will be there. This is what we'll assume. So within F1 frequency, you can see up to F1 frequency, SNR is high because the signal power spectral density of signal is high, which means signal power will be high. So SNR will be high within F1 frequency. So these low frequency components of MT can be properly reproduced, okay. Now above F1, if you will see, you can see the power spectral density is low, which means SNR will be low. So these high frequency components of MT cannot be properly reproduced. So what pre-emphasis and de-emphasis circuits do, they artificially boost the signals, high frequency signals, so that they will also have high SNR and they can also be recovered properly. So this is what we will learn in pre-emphasis and de-emphasis signal. Okay, let's first look at the pre-emphasis circuit. So it is the process of artificially boosting of high frequency components of message signal to increase corresponding SNR. The pre-emphasis signal will be, the pre-emphasis or circuit will be done in transmitter before modulation, okay. So this is done before modulation, and this is how it is done. So let's say you have a power spectral density of a message signal like this, which we saw before. So above F1 we have to artificially boost the high frequency component of message signal. Means we will boost this signal here and here, and rest between minus F1 to F1 it is fine. So this we will do before modulation. Now this it will go with the pre-emphasis signal circuit, okay, whose power spectral density will be given as this. Power spectral density of this block pre-emphasis circuit is mod HF whole square. You must be knowing that frequency Fourier transform of the block or the signal, and take the modulus square, you will get the power spectral density. So HF mod square is looks like this. Within minus F1 to plus F1 it is 1, and from F1 and from minus F1 it goes linearly increasing, okay. So this is how the response or power spectral density of this PE circuit will look like. Now this signal will go through this circuit and you will get something like this. So between F1 minus F1 to F1 the signal is same, but above F1 or minus F1 it is artificially boosted, so the SNR is increased. Okay, now this message signal will go to the modulator, okay, in further. So we are artificially boosting the high frequency components to a satisfactory level, so that we will get high SNR for high frequency as well before modulation. Okay, now we will see de-emphasis circuit. Let's look at de-emphasis circuit. So it is the reverse of pre-emphasis, which we were doing in transmitter side, to get back our original message signal back. Okay, so DE will be done in receiver side after demodulation. So see, when you have transmitted, and this you will get after demodulation, you will get a power spectral density of the message signal like this. So you have to artificially boost down the high frequency component, so that we will get our original message signal PSD back. Okay, so it will pass through a de-emphasis circuit whose response will look like this. Power spectral density HF mod square, which is between minus F1 to F1 it is 1, and above that it is linearly decreasing. So this is how the response of DE will look like, and it will pass through the signal after demodulation will pass through DE circuit, and you will get your PSD of original message signal. So this is how it looked like before. Okay, so that's how pre-emphasis and de-emphasis circuit will perform artificially boosting of SNR, so that it will properly, the receiver will properly generate the frequency component which was present in the transmitted message signal. Okay, now a few point about de-emphasis and pre-emphasis. So de-emphasis response will be ideal to means similar to low pass filter response. So at cutoff frequency, from cutoff frequency it is it rejects, and till cutoff frequency it passes the signal. Okay, so that is how you can imagine the response of de-emphasis. Similarly for PE, this is the response of high pass filter. So above FC it passes everything, below FC it rejects actually, and this is not pre-emphasis circuit. The actual pre-emphasis response will be lead compensator, which is given in CR like this in this combination. So you, at the output you will get the response of this V0 by Vi. If you will calculate, you will get the transfer function of pre-emphasis circuit. So actually it is lead compensator, but if not given, you assume that it is a high pass filter only. Okay, so that is how you can imagine. And the relation between power spectral densities of output is equal to power spectral density of input into mod HF square. This is what we did when we were showing the graphs. Okay, so this is the relation how we get. So this is just general points. Okay. Now there is one point I want to mention about something called pre-selector, which is used before RF amplifier here. So pre-selector, RF amplifier, mixer and IF amplifier. Okay, so this is your signal is coming receiver, and the signal is coming from here antenna. Then it acts as a band pass filter, so it will pass this range of frequencies. Then RF amplifier is a tuned amplifier, so that will take care of the center frequency and the bandwidth. And if we are not able to achieve our required center frequency, then IF amplifier is used, which is a standard tuned amplifier through this mixer, which will translate the frequency, center frequency, with respect to FL and FS. Okay, so that is how you can see. So there is something called pre-selector, which will act as a band pass filter, and before the RF amplifier. So image channel rejection is done collaboratively by these two guys. Okay, so this is what I wanted to mention, one extra point. So for rejection of image frequency, they all collaboratively work, but this is something which restricts the band of the signal which antenna captures, and then within the captured signal everything the operations are performed rather than going for all frequencies. Okay.